people say, all right, Jen, 6 kids. So you're either Mormon, Catholic, or just a lot of fun. And we are Catholic. That's not normally the response I get when I say that. Did the Pope send you guys? Like, what do you... No, so I was a lifelong atheist who converted to Catholicism. So I got the Uno reverse card, you know? When I was exploring religion, my friend said, Jen, you should be spiritual but not religious. I've landed on religious but not spiritual. And that is as good as it's going to get. It's my best. And look, honestly, I know for people of faith, it is very important to have a vibrant, thriving friendship with Jesus. I truly believe this. It's just not going very well at all. And part of that is on his end. He has to take some responsibility here. This will help it make sense to you. My mother was a Phi Beta Kappa Honor Society math major. She's a retired mathematician who calculated kill ratios for the Naval Weapons Research Laboratory. My father was a Green Beret and an engineer. My grandfather was an engineer. My first job out of college was as a computer programmer. What I'm trying to tell you is that I am genetically designed to really struggle being friends with people who are invisible. I know Jesus has done a lot for me, okay? He has. But would it be too much to ask for the occasional comment on my Instagram? Like, slay, girl, you know? I'm just asking. Okay. Now, the way I came to believe in God is I read a whole bunch of theology books. So I know all the theology stuff. So I guess what I'm hoping is that heaven has an AP exam. So I can test out of being a good person. I get to the pearly gates, and St. Peter's like, Jen, you never forgave anyone. But your essay on transubstantiation was incredible. Come on in. Come on in. Heaven's like, we love an educated queen. That better be how it works. People ask what our parents thought of our conversions to Catholicism because my husband was also not raised Catholic. And what they said was, we are open-minded to all faiths, and we simply want you to be blah, 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 blah. I think what it was is because my husband is an only child and I'm an only child, we were their only shot at grandchildren. I think my mom and my mother-in-law were fist bumping each other like, thank God they found the one where they just breed recklessly. My dad got to the point where he was like, I got 6 grandkids out of this. I'll worship the Catholic God too. This is fine, you know. They actually got in on some of our stuff. My mother-in-law especially, her favorite thing, she was a good Southern Baptist woman, but her favorite thing was she loved this Catholic tradition we have where if we lose something, we say a prayer to Saint Anthony. You guys know about it? Okay. I'm glad you guys know. I was recently in a city where they had no idea what I was talking about, and that city was San Antonio. So my mother-in-law loved this. She was a tough East Texas woman, came from generational poverty. She was a single mother. And if you've ever known a woman like that, they are practical. They're all about whatever works. So she would start calling me up. You know, she'd lose her car keys. She'd be, cursing up a storm like, Jennifer, you got to say that prayer. Because she knows it works better if a Catholic says it. And I would say, I fancied myself as a bit of an evangelist for my religion. So I'd say, I want to let you know we're not praying to these saints like they're gods. It's like asking your neighbor if she'd be, say the prayer, God, if I So... So I'd say, St. Anthony, please come around. Something is lost and can't be found. She'd say, tell him it's the car keys. So I'd say the whole thing again. And she'd tell all her Southern Baptist friends about it. She'd say, I love this St. Anthony SOB. He is just, oh. And then one time, she lost some tax documents. It was a really big deal. She couldn't find them anywhere. She calls me hooting and hollering. She said, Jennifer, I can't find these tax documents anywhere. I don't know what I'm going to do. I said, calm down. Calm down. Did you pray to St. Anthony? She said, Jennifer, I prayed to St. Anthony. I prayed to Jesus. Hell, I asked Jesus to say a prayer to St. Anthony. So I am the token Catholic in my family, in my group of friends, and I'm still getting used to it. It still feels kind of weird. And sometimes my old life and my new life collide. Like one time we were visiting my grandfather, and my 3-year-old daughter got into his prescription anti-anxiety medication. It was scary. She was okay. We took her to the ER, and the nurse said, okay, she will be okay, but the clinical diagnosis is she is high as a kite. She said she can't name her colors, but she can smell them. The nurse looked at us, this respectable Catholic mom and dad. She said, do you think you could think of any way to entertain her while she's in this state so that we can keep her under observation for a few hours? The memories were instantaneous. We put on Pink Floyd's The Wall. We found the YouTube video. There's just 10 hours of a spinning eye. My husband's like, do the thing where you do your hands like this. Like, I think the nurse was like, okay, if they break out glow sticks and start dancing, like, I'm gonna have to kick them out. Another time, I made the mistake of inviting the president of my homeowners association and her 2 young children over to my house for a play date. It was going well, and then her 5-year-old ran inside and said, Mommy, they have the best sandbox toy. And I was like, did we? Okay. He's like, you gotta come see it. So we go outside, and his brother is holding up, it has a big funnel at the top, and then a long tube. It had my husband's fraternity logo on it. And all down the tube were the all capital words, chug, 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 chug. And her kids are happily pouring sand down it. She said, what kind of sandbox toy is this? I said, I don't know, but Mattel has really fallen off. So it's hard raising this Catholic big family when I don't know anything about being Catholic and I don't know anything about having a big family. And then on top of that, I struggle. I mean, I have pretty severe ADHD, and I am also slightly on the Asperger's spectrum. Anyone else been diagnosed on TikTok? I might also have generalized anxiety disorder, but Kaylee hasn't posted part 4 to the video because she's been grounded, so... Yeah, we're just kind of waiting to figure that one out. So that doesn't go well. Me, trying to run this house. When it was my turn to bring snacks to Vacation Bible School, the kids learned about fasting that day. I do try. Like, for my daughter's birthday, I made her this really fun Monsters in the Slime Pit birthday cake. And it was supposed to be a Mermaids at the Beach cake, but that is my best effort. One of the hardest things for me was that, so 4 of my kids are girls, and doll clothes, I didn't see that part of parenting coming. One of my friends said, Jen, your girls' dolly clothes are a mess. You need to find an organizational system that allows the dollies to mix and match their outfits. I was like, look around. You may notice that fully half of my human children are not dressed. The dolls ain't making the cut, honey. Gonna be a nudist colony up in here. One time my mom sent one of her classy friends over to the house right when this lady walks into the door. My daughters have put their two Barbies in a hot pink Barbie Corvette. They're all strapped in. And like, vroom, here we go. Except the Barbies are completely naked. My mom's friend said, what is going on with these Barbies? I said, look, I bought them Teacher Barbie. Now they're a whole different kind of Barbie. But these Barbies make a lot more money than Teacher Barbie, so they're fine. But officially, the hardest thing about parenting for me was shoes. I am expected to find 12 shoes every time I leave the house. And look, whether you're a parent or not, if you've ever dealt with kids in any capacity, I don't know if you've gotten to this point where you're trying to get out the door, you look down at what this kid is wearing, and you're like, okay, you have a purple bunny slipper on one foot. On the other foot, you have a high-heeled plastic princess shoe. But we are 43 minutes late. Let's go. Let's just get in the car. I don't care anymore. And you're like, as long as we don't run into any of his friends, it should be fine, you know? One time, we were headed out to a picnic that my church was having. It was way far away from home. No turning back now. Right as we are rolling up, my daughter says from the back, Mommy, I forgot my shoes. And I was like, oh, God. It's so frustrating because you know how it is. You know how you want to show up when you hang out with people from church. You know, you want to show up like a total fraud. Just not who you actually are at all. I'd even given the kids the rundown. I'd said, like, hey, remember, listen, tell everybody that your clothes look like that because we went on a nature walk. I was at my limit. I call my husband. I am ranting. I am raving. And he tried to solve the problem. Gentlemen, if your wife calls you screaming the details about how yet another day in her life has degenerated into a complete dumpster fire, the only answer she is looking for is, oh my gosh, honey, your life is so hard. How do you even do it? Feel free to take notes. My husband actually said to me, my rollerblades are in the trunk. I said, she is a 9-year-old girl. What are you imagining? She's just gonna stand there stiffly in the rollerblades and I push her through the picnic? And then he's getting annoyed because his wife doesn't like solutions. Then he says, these words actually left his mouth. Then he says, somewhere in the minivan are a roll of paper towels and rubber bands. Some of you know where he was going with that. I did not. I said, what? He said, moccasins. I said, okay, well, there it is. There it is. That is officially the stupidest idea I have ever heard. And also, it would never work. He said, it worked last time I took him to church. At some point, you lose respect for the people in your community for not calling Child Protective Services on you.